It's hard not to get caught up in all the excitement that Zion's bringing to the league. So, Amin, I wonder if the media is setting the bar too high for Zion. What do you think?
Chris Rock, the media. No, I mean, look, he's in a great situation because unlike most number one overall picks, he's going to a team that's pretty good. They've got good players. Ingram is probably going to lead them in scoring. Lonzo Ball looked like he's already got a chemistry going on with Zion. You got Derek Favors. You've got J.J. Redick. You've got even the other rookie, Nico Melli, is a longtime vet from the EuroLeague. So he's coming in a situation where he doesn't have to be a savior. He doesn't have to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. And that makes the game easier for him. I watched that game the other night against Atlanta, and all he had to do was just run the floor. The lanes are right there. And even when he doesn't get the ball, there's so much attention towards what Zion is doing on the floor. It opens up the game for everybody else.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned how balanced their roster is, and it's a really competitive West. You didn't even mention Drew Holiday yet. Yeah. I mean, that's the other part of the equation.
I think you hit it on the head. He's not coming in expecting to save, a situation, carry a franchise on his back like LeBron did with Cleveland, situations like that. He's going to be able to come in and develop. And, the New Orleans market isn't as big as some of these other bigger markets. So I think it's going to be a good situation, but it's going to be fun. And the media always is going to set the bar high, and everything he does, well, he could have did this or he could have did that. That's just the world we live in today. But I think he's in a great place. He has a great frame of mind, and like Amin said, a great surrounding cast that's really going to help him develop.
He's the number one overall pick, but he plays with the energy of someone on a two-way deal.
Right.
Like, it's so rare to get someone who's that talented, who's been the best player on the floor probably for his entire life, but to play with that kind of diving for loose balls, kind of
football player.
Yeah, it's so refreshing.
It's funny you mentioned that, Amin, because Matt and I talked about this yesterday with Chiney, which is that at Summer League, he didn't want to do anything as an individual. He wanted to do everything with the team, everything as far as interviews, anything he had to do by himself. He's like, no, can I bring a teammate with me? He wants to be part of a group in this situation.
Oh, I think with his talent alone, like we mentioned yesterday, he's going to get anywhere from 14 to 18 points off his energy and his pace of play.
Right.
Because of the style of the NBA. So he's in a good situation, good group of guys. It's going to give him time to develop. But, obviously the media always.
The media.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to have expectations. It's why, look, I appreciate David Griffin right off the top trying to temper the expectations, but we all know there's going to be a set of expectations. I mean, Drew Brees was literally telling him, you're next. Right. That's part of the deal now, at least as far as that city's concerned. Last year's number one overall pick, Deandre Ayton, scored 18 points, grabbed 13 boards, and blocked 2 shots in 21 minutes of action against the T-Wolves last night. Amin, what are your expectations for Ayton in year 2?
Well, I mean, the big thing for him is obviously the game slows down a little bit. When you're a rookie, the game is so fast. And first of all, even when you're a guy like him with great athleticism and great size, it's a shock to see, oh no, they got a bunch of dudes like that in this league. So the second year is really when the game starts to slow down for him. For me, the 2 things I'm looking at is, A, he's got to become better defensively. Last year, he would fall asleep. And as a big man, he's got to be the anchor for a team defense, particularly a team defense that isn't very good when you look at some of the other guys on the roster. And then the other thing is, I thought in college he's a really good passer. I want to see a little bit more of that. I think when you got a big man who can pass as well as I think he can, it opens up things. You look at how Philly plays, you look at how Denver plays with a big man who can pass. It really makes the game easier for everybody else.
He's someone that could do a lot, obviously, going into his second year. But I think one thing that's really going to help him take a step is Ricky Rubio being able to step in, and, his pick and pops and his lob plays. But like Amin said, more self-aware on defense. He should be the anchor. He's athletic enough and strong enough to hold that whole anchor, that whole defense down, and then be just a more versatile player. Someone that can do a little bit of everything. But like people forget that this is just his second year, and even though it means that the game slows down, it still takes more time for it to slow down. So he's in the second year with a lot of expectations.
Matt, and my guess is Rubio will help Booker too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a true passing point guard out there that likes to set other people up and is going to take a lot of pressure off Book. And I love Devin Booker. To me, he's one of the purest scorers in the game. So I really think this is also going to help him as well.
Yeah, they've got to figure out also those younger guys, that they got to listen to these vets, even though they're not stars, right? Rubio, Aaron Baines is another guy. I want Ayton to really listen to Aaron Baines and figure out those things. Not just because he isn't a star player in this league doesn't mean there aren't lessons to be
learned.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
you got to learn the nuances of the game, and a guy like that can do that.
Because that's the difference between putting up numbers and winning games. Like, they're good enough to put up numbers, Booker and Ayton, but now they need to be good enough to help this team win games.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.